Well, we hear so much these days about how American school children are, in many cases, lagging behind in math and science. We've seen all the surveys and the studies. But one place here in North Texas is doing something about that, and it's the Trinity River Audubon Center in South Dallas. Our man on the streets, Don Wall, went there for a visit recently, and he joins us now with more. Don?
Hi, Jeff. The Trinity River Audubon Center is just south of Dallas, where I-45 and Loop 12 come together and cross the Trinity River. Students are exposed to a living science lab through field trips. Now, it's not just fun and games. The students really are learning about science.
River, as you know, the Trinity River is the source of our drinking water. That's where we get our drinking water from.
At the Trinity River Audubon Center in South Dallas, fifth graders from the John F. Kennedy Learning Center get some hands-on experience learning about ecosystems and the environment.
When they take their nature hike, they're exposed to wilderness, they're exposed to things that they're urban kids, they're city kids, and this is their chance to see a little bit of the outdoors and be exposed to nature.
Oh, look, the bug.
What kind of bug is that?
Oh, I can't tell.
Well, you got...
What's the matter with kids these days? Nothing. But they spend so much time with technology devices, they lose touch with the real world. These field trips expose about 20,000 Dallas area school kids annually to the wonders of nature and help prepare them to pass life science tests required by the state of Texas.
They're mostly having fun. I mean, they're getting dirty, they go down to the ponds and they explore what lives in the ponds. They get to learn about what's their big backyard. So as adults, we hope that will inspire them to be stewards of the land as they grow up.
Spring is popping at the 120-acre Audubon Center, built on top of a reclaimed illegal landfill. The school children, nature lovers, and families come to see more than 200 species of birds, turtles, fish, and mammals in the Great Trinity Forest, the Blackland Prairie, and the wetlands.
So repeat after me. Say, leaves of three.
Leaves of three.
Let them be.
Let them be.
The kids learn how to spot poison ivy, and they see how honeybee activity increases as the days get warmer.
Is this an undiscovered paradise in Dallas?
Absolutely. We wish it wasn't so undiscovered. We wish it wasn't a secret jewel. We hope everyone will come visit and explore and see just how beautiful it is.
Important thing is this Trinity River Audubon Society is a living classroom. It's hands-on. The kids get to experience walks through the woods down to the river. It's 120 acres. It's just a beautiful facility and all kinds of great opportunities for city kids, urban kids to learn about the environment and to experience nature firsthand.
And they can do, I've been down there myself, and they can incorporate schoolwork with a trip or a field trip to the Audubon Center, collecting samples, and counting wildlife in some cases.
Absolutely. They look at samples with hand lenses and microscopes and things like that. And one of the really important things about this is that it's preparing them to take the state-required tests. Fifth graders have to pass comprehensive earth science tests, and classes like this, where they get out of the classroom to actually experience nature, help them to do that.
Now that's a lab. That's a real lab out there in the nature area itself. That's where you learn about stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can talk about it, but you go hands-on. That's a different deal.
Right, exactly. For example, one of the tour guides brings the kids down the trails, and he says, okay, if it's got 3 leaves, you leave it alone. And he's looking at poison ivy, and he's showing kids what poison ivy looks like for the first time.
Well, I hope they're able to re-rack that report and get it right this time. I'd like to see that.
I would too, yeah.
Do they let kids get muddy? Do they actually get in the mud?
Oh, they get near the mud, and occasionally they'll fall
get into a little bit.
They're kids, they'll get muddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, one other point is that this was part of the much highly anticipated Trinity River project. And so there was supposed to be so many projects that were going to elevate the visibility and the use of the Trinity River. And this was really the first one that opened up that whole corridor to the public.
This goes back to the '98 bond election in Dallas, where a big part of the bond package was to provide flood protection for the people of South Dallas. Remember Rochester Park and some of those areas that were notorious for flooding every time there were bad floods. Well, part of the mitigation for actually rechanneling the Trinity River was to build this Audubon Center. And so it provided, really for the first time, public access to the Great Trinity Forest, the blackland prairies, and the wetlands of the area.
Good for you. Good for you for doing that. And yes, part of the Trinity is really very pretty. People don't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
And there are some float trips that you can take to go up and down the, or go down the Trinity.
Oh, yeah. Some people have canoe operations where you can sign up and take a canoe trip down the river.
And explore it, yeah.
If you can do it, do it, because
Yeah.
I think people enjoy it. Thanks, Don.
Great. Thank you, Don.